Hey, how's it going, everybody? I hope you've been having a good day. Who's excited to see some Doki Doki Literature Club? I got myself some apple cider in one of my favorite favorite mugs. It's also fucking gigantic. Hey, D. Forgot to stir the cider in. Woo. How's it going? Mwah. Let's not spill that on the mic. Trying really hard not to thud things, right? Because the mic's right there and like the only spot I have to put stuff, but not being productive for your last half hour of work. Yeah, that's kind of usually how the last half hour of work goes. I've never been productive the last half hour of work. I think the only time I ever have been has been the few jobs where I only work for like a couple hours. But yeah. How'd you like the cosplay? I figured I'd dress up and get my fucking headphone cord caught in the wig. This wig, I brushed this out last stream. It's already a mess. It's already a mess. Look how cute it is. Look. I've got like my skirt on and stuff. But I was like, no one's gonna see my feet, so I just wear like socks. So I'm like, fuck wearing my platforms when I'm just sitting here. But yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I just wore her in like a kimono like a couple days ago. And that set's coming out on Monday. And I'm really, really, really excited. I've been posting a couple little teaser shots of it. But it's really funny because the kimono I have is actually blue. With like little like teal and light blue and like light pink flowers on it, and like the staircase with like columns is beautiful. I found it when I was in Japan, in Osaka, and I immediately fell in love with it and was like, oh, this better fucking fit. Because there aren't kimonos in Japan that are like the women's cut ones that'll fit me. Technically that kimono is slightly too small. In like, it's a little short in the arms, but I'm like, it's close enough. As long as I don't T-pose in it, you can't tell. But yeah, the women there are small. Like this skirt that I'm wearing is also from Osaka. It was from a like couture, like schoolgirl uniform shop in a mall. So, cause I didn't want to like buy one that was associated with a specific school. Cause I figured I do lewds and stuff that would be kind of inappropriate. This is the biggest size that they have. And you can't really tell, like I can't get far enough back with my, wait, if I take my headphones off, you can probably see. But it's, they're supposed to go down to like the ends of your knees. Like no, I can't get far back enough. But it's supposed to hit here. And I think you can, like, this is like, I don't know, not quite mid-thigh. It's a little bit lower than that, but it's not even close. I am so much taller than, like, everyone in Japan. I went, like, the subway doors are, like, here. I'm 5'7". I'm not that tall. But I was so huge. Like, most of the men were, like, trying to adjust for the camera's view, but yeah, they were like just shorter than me, and there were a couple that were a little taller, but they like most people were like around here. So like when I was in a crowd like trying to find my partners, I'm just like, there you are, because we were towering above everybody. And the only shoes in that entire continent, that entire country that fit me were at like a drag queen section. There were a pair of demonias I already own too, so I'm like, no point in buying demonias and paying for like trying to shove those in my luggage when I literally already have that pair of boots and also their demonias. I can get them from a store here. But yeah, I love me some DDLC, and my plan is to do 100% run through because I've done that before. I've already played through this entire game. And I figured because I haven't played it in a while, I was hoping to replay it, but I figured I can't be spoiled because I've already played it and I've done the full ending. So I can play through the game and then stop before the really bad triggers are. Yeah. So I'm not going to necessarily do all 3 endings. Like the 3 endings you're thinking of, like the loops, I won't necessarily be able to get to those all in one stream. I might be able to, but my plan is if you romance all the girls in the first section by save scumming and going backwards and then like replaying the first run over and over and over again, you can romance all the girls and then you get a true ending at the end that's like really happy and really nice. So I wanted to kind of show all that, but because I know where the triggers are, I can stop just before like the really dark, deep shit happen. Yeah, that. So I'm hoping to like this stream, there will be no like severe triggers. The only triggering thing that I think will come up because I can't do the romancing of the girls without at least hitting a discussion about depression, but nothing horror happens. It's just like a character moment, and that's as far as we'll go. As soon as I get to the end of the character moments in that section, yeah, there is that too, and I will trigger warning before all of those things. There's a moment with Yuri near the end where there's a brief mention of blood, but you don't see anything. So yeah, I will trigger warning for those when they come up. And other than that, there'll be no triggers at all in this section. And I won't be doing the horror stuff until a separate stream. Even if I manage to do all 3 romance sections for this stream, if I get there and we still have like half an hour left, I'll switch to just chatting and just do that. I don't want people to come into this stream and accidentally get triggered. And then so my next stream will be doing either the rest of the romance stuff and then ending, or starting the horror stuff. But I will never have the horror stuff and the romance stuff in the same stream. So even if we only have like a little bit left before around 8 o'clock when I'm planning to end, I still will start the next stream and just have a really short like bonus stream because I don't want to trigger anybody. And I love the character moments in this game so much that I really was trying to think of a way that I could share that part with people for whom the rest of the game is really inaccessible because they have triggers or they have depression or whatever and they can't deal with that. Hi Rob, nice to see you. I was just explaining I'm going to be doing just the romance sections, and then the horror sections and the triggering sections I'm going to be leaving for a separate stream. The only triggering stuff in here is going to be a brief discussion about someone who has depression and a brief moment with blood and knives. But you don't see anything. It's just a discussion of like an injury. Yes, poetry is good. Poetry is always good. I'm super planning on like breaking down like the writing of this game as well, because like I love this game so much. This game is so good. So good. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. There we go. I've got way too much headroom because I keep leaning in. Went to a park. There I saw a spark. Then a never-ending fire that would grant my beautiful desire. But the flames got bigger and my determination got meager. Oh, that's really nice. That's really cute. It kind of like, I don't know, a friend of mine just played Undertale, so determination has me thinking of that. But that's a really good one. I really like that. I've been writing poetry since I was in high school. And most of my ones in high school were not very good. However, I try and, because I post a lot of photos and stuff, I try and put like little snippets of poetry with as my captions on Instagram and stuff, just to like keep me writing, because I really like doing it, and I won't do it if I don't have an excuse to. So try and make myself write every once in a while. But anyway, I should probably get into the game soon. I might give it another minute just so we're like 10 after, and then I can sip some cider, and then we'll get into it. Yes, I am filled with poetry. Such glorious poetry. Bottles. I wanted a few bottles and filled them with emotions, but my emotions were black and the bottles were never found. I kept bottling my emotions, more and more bottles, until one of them broke and caused me to choke. It caused a chain reaction that made me catch them in desperation. I caught a few while the other ones flew. I tried bottling my emotions, but I ended up bottling myself. Oh, that is really nice. There's actually a poem in the game that's similar. It's not exactly the same, but it's kind of similar concept with like bottling up emotions. So there's a character in this game you might really identify with, because like that happened to me, as you can tell. Okay, it is 10 after. Oh, it's inspired. Okay, it makes sense. But yeah, so I'm gonna get into the game. I've got to do this. There we go. Let me know if I'm in the way of anything. I shouldn't be. I think all the text is at the bottom. Oh, you played it 3 times? Nice. I think I've only played it like twice, but you know. Okay, I gotta put finger brace on. This is gonna be a lot of moving my fingers. New game. Azura. We're gonna play me. Hey! I see an annoying girl running towards me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. You spent over 220 hours in mods. Oh, I haven't done any of the mods. I've just done like the main game. I've heard there's like a lot of cool mods though. Here, I'm gonna shrink this window a little bit so I can see chat better. Where the fuck? There we go. Still look good on, no, I fucking, okay, 1 second. I've gotta make this bigger. Gotta make this bigger. Because I done fucked it up because I needed to see chat. An annoying cinnamon bun. She is a little bit of a cinnamon roll. Okay, that should be good. There's a little bit of a black bar at the bottom, but I can't be arsed at this point. Okay. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's gonna chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. If Sayori eats a cinnamon bun, does that mean she's a cannibal? Maybe. You don't hear the game? You don't hear, like, music? There just should be, like, background music. It doesn't really have, like, sound. If you can't hear it, I can try to see about it. No music? Oh, let me see. Was it playing before, or is it just not now? Okay. I have been plagued with audio issues, and I don't know why. Is that working? Let me know if you can hear it or if it's, like, too loud. It's back! Woohoo! Yeah, let me know if it's too loud. I'm also going to turn myself down a bit because I seem to be peaking slightly. Good? Okay, cool. Yeah, let me know if the volume's a bit wonky and I'll fix that too. Because now I know what's going on. Cool, cool, cool. However, I just saw an idol in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. I overslept again. But I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, Azura. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine, fine. You did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean even if you want to. Cinnamon kittens are really cute. Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Azura, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm not really interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Hey, anime is always an important thing. And eating. Eating is also important. I'm not sure which one's more important, but one of them. I honestly only really remember to eat breakfast sometimes because I'll eat breakfast while watching anime with my partner, so I totally get it. Have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me when I'm perfectly content getting by on average while spending my free time on games and anime. See, the main character totally gets it. Uh-huh. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know? I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright, alright. Does that mean you're the main character? Wait, is your name Azura too? I think we're all the main character if we're playing this game. See ya. Alright, alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. Cut to fourth wall. This is a little bit of foreshadowing. Just a little bit. I feel like a lot of us understand exaggerating things inside of our heads. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Yep, that's familiar too. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice to start with the anime club. Which is what I did in high school, actually. The only clubs I was in was band and the anime club. I think I was only in the anime club because the girls there were really cute. Don't know what that says about me, but... hello? Sayori? Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Says I'm gay? Yes, it says I'm gay. Also says I suffered from a lot of comp het, too, because I had no idea I was gay. I have no idea how I made it to my mid-20s not realizing I was gay. How the fuck that happened, I have no idea. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's gonna make you late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, you know. You had to change your gender to realize you're gay? See, I had to figure out I was gay in order to realize what my gender was. And then I told my dad that I was like, hey dad, I'm non-binary. He was like, yeah, no shit. And I was like, you could have told me. Fuck. No, what? Well, you could come to my club. Sayori. Yeah! There's no way I'm going to your club. Meanie. Sayori is vice president of the literature club. Woo! Salt! Welcome! Riggy! Yeah, I'm in cosplay. So I'm in cosplay as one of the characters from the game. I'll just take my headphones off and show y'all. Show y'all the fit. Look at, I gotta move my fucking chair. Okay, do a little twirl. In the wig that is already a disaster, even though I just combed it. I've got little pleated skirt on. And I gotta get out of the way so I don't flash everybody, but socks. Got floofy socks. Hey, love those Riggy emotes. Oh my god, the headphones and the wig. Oh no. Yeah, I'm super happy. So I think I've told Salt this already, but I'm planning on doing a 100% playthrough of this. But I'm gonna stop before all the super triggering stuff. I've played this before. I've 100%ed it before, so I know where all that stuff is, and I will stop before it. The only two triggers that are likely to come up during the romance section is a discussion of depression and a brief moment where the main character gets injured and there's some blood/knife discussion. You don't see anything, but there is discussion of it, so just forewarning. And I'll also, like, when we get to those points, I will immediately let you know, just so that, like, people in chat, if those are triggers for you, you'll know ahead of time. I just can't avoid those during the romance sections, but I'm going to make sure that I never have the horror stuff and the romance stuff in the same stream. So depending on where we get to, you know, I might have to do more romance stuff in a second stream, or if we finish early, I'll do just chatting before I'm done, just so that I don't trigger anybody who's not expecting it. Because I want to make this game accessible, because the characters are so good. So, Sayori is the vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title vice president. That's happened to me in real life a few times. No one wanted to step up, and now I'm in charge of like 3 different things. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please. Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kind of told the club president yesterday I would bring in a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead or if she's so cunning as to have planned all of this out. I let out a long sigh. Fine. I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Oh man, your Twitch plugins aren't working at work? Man, yeah. The gender pronoun one is like the one I usually use, which I can't see through OBS, so I can't see anyone's pronouns, which is really irritating. I wonder if I could, like, I don't know, if they could get that plugin to connect to slobs. That'd be great. But luckily, I know most of you, so I'm pretty aware of everyone's pronouns. So, it's helpful. And if I mess up, just let me know. Yes, let's go! And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. I probably would do that, yes. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member is here. I told you, don't call me a new member. I glance around the room. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you. Seriously? You brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Zura, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. So gay. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. She is also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back towards the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Well, it's nice to meet both of you. Can you see why I cosplay Yuri? She is very mean. In so many ways. So many ways. It sounds like you already know Monica, is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Azura. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically, completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monica. Come sit down, Azura. We made room for you at the table so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. Then how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there's one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Whoa! Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn on with icing, and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. Just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs one first, then Monica. I follow. It's delicious. Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like Have I heard this somewhere before? Made them for you or anything. Yeah, I thought you technically did. Sayori said, well, maybe. But not for you. No, you, dummy. Alright. I gave up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismissed the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teacher gave us permission. After all, Doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I don't drink tea, but I like hot cider and hot chocolate. How are you liking the girls so far? Is any of them catching your eyes so far? Sayori is very bubbly. Yuri is definitely autistic. There's no way she isn't. And you'll definitely see what I mean. Monica seems to be the neurotypical one of the group, because you always have to have one. And Natsuki is the most, like, tsundere character I've ever fucking seen. She's so grumpy. It's really funny. And it's really disconcerting to me because she's, like, a snarkier version of, like, a person I actually know who, like, loves baking. I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know, I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least like tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So, what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seems really happy here, so... That's okay, don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Okay, Monica. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Well, you know. To be honest, I can't stand all of the politics around the major clubs. Feels like nothing but arguing around the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. If it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica really is a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. And I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. Must be really hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah! We'll do our best. You know it. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they were all so delighted at the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So, Azura, what kinds of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga, I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. Looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her fingers. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. Same! But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Okay, Dan Silvato. That's not directly from you. That's not him gloating about how people completely did not get what this game was. This line is so good. Because it's completely in character for her to say. But it sums up how this game works. And like, when you start the game up, it starts with like kind of a sepia tone picture of the girl saying like, hey, there's some triggering stuff in this game. If you have like depression or anxiety or whatever, or you're a child, like this might not be the game for you, like just so you know. And you have to click like, okay, I understand. And it has like a link to like a full list of trigger warnings, like if you want to see them, just so it doesn't spoil it for people who don't need those. But yeah, it still goes places you don't expect it to, even with like the trigger warnings, because you know something's gonna happen. But even knowing something's gonna happen, you can't imagine where it's going to go because it's a dating sim. And with triggering stuff, when I first played this game, I was like, oh, maybe it's going to have some like really intense character moments. And oh boy does it. Oh boy does it. So, you liked Undertale being meta, huh? Just you wait. Just you wait. Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. It's not ominous as a next line. Cut segue. I read a horror book once. Points to my shelf that's mostly full of horror books. I desperately grasp something I can relate to at the minimum level. Like a brick through a window. Subtle. The thing is, most people completely miss that the first time. They just go, oh, she's a goth girl, cool. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Or a brick that has just flown through a window. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you. I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Man, it's wild how writers can fuck with you. Anyway, I like horror. So, Salt, are you getting why I cosplay her specifically? I hate horror. Oh, why is that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud. Give that back. Fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayori slides up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute! Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometimes? No! Natsuki averts her eyes. She says adorably, everything she does is fucking cute. But like, I kind of get it, because I used to be really small when I was younger. Like, I was one of the shorter kids in class. And like, because I'm autistic, I love stuffed animals, pan to my entire fucking bed. But yeah, I used to get called cute all the time when I was trying desperately not to be. But then I also just liked cute it's a whole thing, and I totally get it. Small girls like get that all the time. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your art. Do you have any writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel more comfortable to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. Aw, I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's go home and write a poem of our own. Then next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it'll help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Azura? Monika smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we're back on the original topic of me joining the club, I'd bluntly come forward with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. Still have other clubs to look at, and, I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But, I'm sorry, I thought... Azura... You all... I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Yes, I'm so happy! Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey! You really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I'd be super pissed. And that makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. She's just smothering Natsuki with her hair. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision with harem? Correct. I do appreciate, though, that it's just, he's not just like, I'm gonna bone them. It's just like, oh, I don't want to hurt their feelings. Murder harem! Murder harem! Okay, Toga. Not that you get that reference because you haven't seen My Hero Academia yet. Bitch, fucking watch My Hero Academia, Season 1, and then we can talk. Seriously, once we both get vaccinated, if you haven't seen it yet, I am dragging you to my house to have a, marathon of it with me, because you have to see one of my favorite shows. You have to. Anyway. I'm just gonna, instead of being Sayori bullying their friend into being in the literature club, I'm just gonna bully you into being in my, anime discussions. Thanks, I guess. See ya, D. Thanks for stopping by. It's been good talking to you. I miss you. I switched to water now because I ran out of cider. And I haven't talked this non-stop in some time. I don't have because I'm not affiliate yet, I don't have a bot. There's no telling me to hydrate, but it's okay. I won't forget. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monika looks over at me once more. Azura, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monika with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey, Azura, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right, Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to go closer to one of these girls. Alright, just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Sweet. It's time to write a poem. Pick which words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Okay, so I've got to save. This is our first save. This is the important one. I cannot save over this, or we cannot do the 100% run. Dope. Okay, so my plan is to make sure that I do Yuri with the cosplay on, because I'm not wearing this for every stream. There's no way. I'm already overheating. It's so warm in this. Because I've got a bra on, which I don't normally wear, a long sleeve shirt that's cotton, a sweater vest, a jacket, the big wig, headphones. I'm so warm. So I'm gonna start with Yuri, because A, she's my favorite girl, B, she's me, and C, I don't want to wear this. And honestly, if I do start to overheat, once we finish her thing, I might take this off. And like, yeah. I mean, my hair is definitely wig hair, so I might leave the wig on, but there may be a point where I like take the jacket off or something. It is definitely not in a warm room with lights on you cosplay. Because every time I've cosplayed her, it's been outside or in the winter, so the studio was like cold. Thank fuck. This is, I think the only time I've worn this like out when it was like warm out was like to Fan Expo, but it was windy, so it wasn't too bad, other than the wig was a disaster in the wind. Anyway, so I'm going to make sure to include like 1 or 2 words for Sayori and Natsuki as well, because I don't want to piss any of the other girls off. And they do get a little bit mad if you don't have a single word they like in it. So I'm going to start with Natsuki, because she's the easiest. So I'm going to do parfait and hope. No, that's her. Kitty. There, we got 2 words for Natsuki, 1 for Sayori. Peaceful. There, we got 2 for each. Now I'm going to try and go for a couple words for Yuri. Probably try and do like 12-ish. And then I'll try and make sure to throw in a couple Natsuki words in there, because there's some where like Sayori and Yuri kind of have similar stuff. Okay. Yuri mostly likes complicated stuff. Weird that Sayori likes death, huh? Okay. I'm gonna throw in some cute stuff. There we go. That should be a good mix. It's mostly Yuri. I tried to focus on Yuri. There's a number of Sayori in there, and then a few Natsuki just to kind of round it out. I'm trying not to, like, super alienate the other girls. Because it breaks my heart when they get really upset. Salt, you seem a little bit confused. I mean, she also said at the very beginning of the game when you weren't here that she, well, she didn't say this. The main character says it about her, that she kind of, like, she overblows things in her own mind sometimes. Must keep the harem happy, I suppose. I try and think of it as making sure I remain friends with my friends who aren't my partner. You know, you love your partner, but you know, you're not dicks to your friends just because you love your partner, right? And Yuri is my girl. Hey again, Azura. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Azura. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps a manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature! Oh, I made the thing go away. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Azura always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Azura can become good friends too. Sayori. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Wait, Sayori. Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri. I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, just discuss it if you wanted. This is... How's this girl accidentally being so fucking cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much? Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Whew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone is settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. Okay. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more. At the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and her eyes meet for a split second. That only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh. It's it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... That's not what I meant. I mean... I just happened to buy 2 of them. I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about anyway? Well... Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Alright. I just want to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escape from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships and her life starts to fall apart. It's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Azura? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories. Don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that these kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in. And suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? So, Salt, how Undertale does that sound? Does that remind you of Undertale just a little bit? Right? It's very Undertale. It's I hadn't seen Undertale when I played this the first time, so now it's like it's turning in my head how fucking similar they are. And it's this whole thing is why when the Game Grumps played Undertale, Dan kept going like, "Oh my god, it's fucking Doki Doki Literature Club all over again." This is why. You'll see. Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. It just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, you might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? A moment ago you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put in my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in the company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. Feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. Yeah, I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. Salt. Salt. I love Yuri so much. I love her so much. Ah! This stuff is so cute. This is why I want to share like the romance sections of this game with people with triggers and like stuff, because the stuff is so adorable. These characters are so well written, and it's like I get like a lot of people haven't seen it because that would really enjoy these characters because they have such relatable like mental health struggles that like, because like Yuri is clearly autistic, anxious, obsessive, and I feel like a lot of like other autistic people would be like, oh, Yuri, some representation, this is great. And like, but those same people are the ones who are going to be having a lot of these triggers, so it's a shame that like so many people don't have access to the cute part. I almost wish you could like have that as a standalone game, but it would like completely ruin the point. But yeah, that's why I want to make this as accessible as possible for people. So like, I probably will save the romance I'll save all of this as a VOD, maybe put up on my YouTube. And then, you know, hopefully like if people want to see the non-triggering bits, then there's a video to watch that will make sure that they don't get that stuff. And then they can see all of the romance options, because a lot of people don't do that. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way, I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? Huh? To turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. You don't know how you keep up with her, eh? I maybe have heard that before. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a little bit longer. Oh, Yuri. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume she finished the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page feels almost like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri? This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways. But she also second guesses all of the things she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything. But they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment. But Azura, it's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. It's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait! I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we shared today's poem with each other. We may not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not... It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright. I stand up. Make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. Can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf, torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first? So, you pick who goes first. It doesn't change the ending, just who do you want to see their opinion first? Also lets me take a sip of water. So thirsty. So much talking. Maybe we'll just do Sayori first. Yeah, let's do Sayori first. I'm definitely most comfortable sharing it with Sayori first. She's my good friend, after all. No Yuri? I mean, I could do her next. She's on the list. Everyone's on the list. I mean, he's known oh, you meant first. Oh, okay. No, main character has known Sayori, like, forever. They're, like, childhood friends and stuff. And was on the top of the list, so I'm like, I'll just hit the first one first, because you didn't say anything. Yeah. This is a good poem, Azura. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? I guess you're right. That's why you impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously. Right? You wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy that you wrote one. This reminds me of how you're really part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but it doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Azura. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people, that's something only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah! And I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That'll be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm gonna hold you to that then. Yay! Now you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. Eehee. We'll see about that. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever, but I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Sorry. This is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No. Just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little bit better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? Sounds just like you. Really? Yeah. Especially that last line. I need eggs and toast. Even though you were late to school, it's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This is so much fun. Monica's the best. Yeah. And next time I won't forget. I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. So you want to do Yuri next then? I'm gonna have more water. Tell me who you want to do next. Shouldn't maybe put it like that, but... You want to do Yuri next then? Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll hit Yuri because that's what you said before. I don't know if the delay is just really long, but... Tell me who you want after that. Music is really silly. They all have their own themes too. That you can... It's like loosely the same song, but it's so good. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth and then ends up covering her whole face. Yeah, so let me know between Natsuki and Monica who you want next. He's gonna hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah. Okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. Having been through that myself, I learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try and make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There's so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? I love this poem. Okay. Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last, yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calm. Breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. I love this poem. It's so good. I think the imagery is so pretty. I did a whole photo shoot based off of this poem. I love it so much. But you can hear how, like, her version, when you go into their poems, they have a slightly different version of the theme. And Yuri's is all, like, delicate and full of flutes. It's really pretty. So pretty. But yeah. Yeah, Yuri's such a good writer. And, like, Sayori's are very, like, simple. But they tell, like, kind of a deeper message. Like, the first one, Sayori does a really good job of, like, kind of expressing that, like, feeling you get when you wake up in the morning when you're, like, sleeping in. And, like, you feel the sun. And you're just like, this is comfy. That's kind of what that feels like. And then, you know, breakfast. This one is very, like, nostalgic, and I like this one. I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. Actually, I think your handwriting is pretty. Huh? That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short? I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you liked it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Azura. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost. Lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Huh? It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive too, so... Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end I enjoyed it. I want to keep doing my best for you, Azura. Me too. Okay, so I'm definitely gonna let you pick this one. Let me know who. How. President or the baker? My whole wrist hurts. Ow. Using this hand too much. just gonna go Natsuki because I haven't heard from you yet. Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you. That's a little blunt. Well, excuse me. It's not like I said it was bad. It just didn't invoke any emotions. So basically it's not cute enough for your taste. Do you want to get smacked? I'll pass. Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it. I hate this poem so much. I really do. Eagles can fly. Monkeys can climb. Crickets can leap. Horses can race. Owls can seek. Cheetahs can run. Eagles can fly. People can try. That's about it. Like, she explains it, and I get it. I just really don't like poems like this. I really don't. She'll explain what she means, I think. I definitely didn't put enough cute words into her thing. Like, if you don't put enough, she gets really angry. Yeah. Told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Look at this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. The other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like, I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into this than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest year, did you? Yeah, I guess not. Decided to humor her with the last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that from her. Then Monica. Weird, she wasn't in the little bouncy things, was she, Salt? So I don't think she's like a romance option. I guess. Hi, Azura. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Azura. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But that's the sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Good job, Azura. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort. Ha, that's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness. Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively. Both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all of the nuances. It can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked, though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different styles a lot. It'd take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little biased towards their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Ha ha. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Yep, I don't have to impress them, Monica. It's not like this is a dating game or anything. Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. Doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction the spackle protrudes? A noisy neighbor, an angry boyfriend? I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind, like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retina's already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out, and he on the other side was looking in. Just let this one sit with you for a second. Just try and figure out what that means. I wonder who she's writing that for. And what it's about. It's definitely not foreshadowing of anything. This stuff, Monica's stuff definitely hits different when you know what's going on. And her theme is just piano. Which is interesting. So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. That's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say I had a kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a lot. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big, dark puddle of ink. Just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Whew. I guess that's everyone. Glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. Ugh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Huh? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Do you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant language, I guess. Trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it, which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Azura did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Azura liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Azura appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. I was full of myself. I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Azura started showing up. Natsuki. Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly, both girls turned towards me as if they just noticed I was standing here. Azura, she's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. She could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective. And this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making all your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Azura. Wait. There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessary, or not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Azura? Well? How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing. But whomever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So of course that's gonna be... Okay, well... I kind of agree with Yuri more. That I like more subtle stuff. But she's kind of being mean, because other writing styles are valid. Sayori really doesn't like everybody fighting. And she's the vice president. We'll check in as soon as you're home? Okay, cool. I know that's not going to be too long. But yeah. I won't be too much further in. The drama. Yeah. I'm going to go with Sayori just because I don't want them fighting. Because I like Yuri, but I don't want them fighting. I want them to be nice to each other. Natsuki glares at me, drying up any words I had in my mouth. Instead, I turn to Yuri. But Yuri's expression is so defenseless that I can't bring myself to say anything to her. Sayori? Yeah. Everyone's fighting is making Sayori uncomfortable. How can the two of you keep fighting when you know you're making your friend feel like this? Azura. Well, that's her problem. This isn't about her. I agree. It's unfair for others to interject their own feelings into our conflict. Yeah, unless Sayori wants to tell Yuri what a stuck-up jerk she's being. She would never. It's your immaturity that's made her upset in the first place. Excuse me? Are you listening to yourself? This is exactly why nobody likes... Stop! Natsuki, Yuri, you guys are my friends. I just want everyone to get along and be happy. My friends are wonderful people. I love them because of their differences. Natsuki's poems, they're amazing because they give you so many feelings with just a few words. Yuri's poems are amazing because they paint beautiful pictures in your head. Everyone's so talented. So why are we fighting? But because, well, also, Natsuki's cute and there's nothing wrong with that. And Yuri's boobs are the same as they always were. Big and beautiful. Sayori stands triumphantly. Monica stands behind her with a bewildered expression. I'll make some tea. Yuri rushes off. Natsuki sits down with a blank expression on her face, staring at nothing. So this is why Sayori is vice president, I whisper to Monica. She nods in return. To be honest, I might come off as a good leader and I can organize things. I'm not very good with people. Couldn't even bring myself to interject. As president, that's kind of embarrassing of me. Nah, it's not like I can blame you. I wasn't able to say anything either. Well, I guess that just means Sayori is amazing in her own ways, isn't she? Certainly one version of conflict resolution. Yeah. I mean, Sayori is definitely good about being like, I love everyone, please stop fighting. Like, her point that, like, the differences are, like, why both work. Like, that, like, you know, we need diversity and stuff. Like, that wasn't the worst point, and does kind of get at the point of their argument in the first place. While, like, not picking either side. Monica, not so much. Monica just sort of stayed out of it and was just like, figure it out. God, my hand hurts. I have, like, my finger brace on and my arm's still tired. You could say that. She might be an airhead, but sometimes it's weirdly suspicious that she knows exactly what she's doing. I see. Take good care of her, okay? I would hate to see her get herself hurt. That makes two of us. You can count on me. Monica smiles sweetly at me, causing my stomach to knot. Such a genuine person really does make a good president, regardless of what she says. If only I could get the chance to talk to her a little more. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did y'all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. Azura, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It's a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome! In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. Maybe you learned something from your friends, too. So your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, I could learn a little more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. Nod to myself with newfound determination. Azura! Ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Hee. Sayori beams at me. It's truly been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori, what happened earlier? What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? No. It's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. Promise, they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends with you. Phew! You know, Azura, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club. But think seeing you get along with everyone else is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you too. That's... Every day is gonna be so much fun. Looks like Sayori still hasn't caught on to the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? We'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. Pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay. Yeah, let's do this. Okay. I'm gonna save again just in case I fuck this up. I shouldn't, but, you know, just in case. Okay. Ugh. I'm gonna do this poem, and I think I gotta go to the bathroom real quick, so I'll do a quick BRB. Okay. Fireworks. Bubbles. Tenacious. Climax. Kiss. Hopeless. Unrequited. Ah, crap. Vivacious. Inferno. Melancholy. Joy. Happy. Vanilla. Frightening. Intellectual. Page. Candy. Uncontrollable. Tragedy. Portrait. Alright, I think I got mostly Yuri for that one. We'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna quickly do a BRB because I have got to go to the bathroom. And I might get a little bit more cider because my throat is hurting. So I'll be right back. I'm back. Got myself some more cider because my throat hurts from all the talking. Don't worry, I'm not like getting so sore that I'm gonna have a damage or anything. I'm just tired. It's been several months since I've had to talk this much. So I'm sure you're all aware. So good. Okay, go back 2 days. Okay. Ow. Another day passes and it's time for the club meeting already. I've gotten a little more comfortable here over the past couple days. Entering the club room, the usual scene greets me. Hey, is there a... Yo, Sayori. Looks like you're in a good mood today. Hee. I'm just still not used to you being in the club, that's all. I see. That's a pretty simple thing to get you in a good mood. I guess it's always the simple things with you anyway. Speaking of which, I'm kinda hungry. Will you come with me to buy a snack? No, thanks. That's not like you at all. I have my reasons. Why don't we take a look at your purse, Sayori? Why that all of a sudden? No reason, really. Just wanted to look at it. Sayori nervously retrieves her coin purse. She fumbles with the latch and gets it open. Then she turns it upside down and lets its contents spill onto the desk. Only 2 small coins fall out. I knew it. I can see right through you, Sayori. That's not fair. How did you even know? It's simple. If you had enough money in the first place, you would have bought a snack before coming to the club room. So either you're not hungry and want an excuse to take a walk, or you plan to conveniently forget that you spent all your money so that I would lend you some. But there's one more thing. You're always hungry! And so that only leaves the one option. Objection! I give up! Don't make me feel guilty. You feel guilty? Then that means you deserve to feel guilty. Yuri suddenly giggles. I didn't notice that she was listening in. Her face is in her book as always. I wasn't listening or anything. It was just something in my book. Yuri, how is her to let me borrow some money? Don't get me involved like that, Sayori. Besides, you should only buy what you can responsibly afford. Frankly, after pulling a mischievous little stunt like that, your suffering is fair enough retribution. I didn't mean that. I got too absorbed into my book. I really like it when you speak your mind, Yuri. It doesn't happen much, but it's a fun side of you. There's no way you could think that. You're right, though. I did something bad, and now I have to accept the revolution. Retribution. That! Still, coming from you, Sayori, I guess there's a little devil inside all of us, isn't there? Oh, isn't there, Yuri? Isn't there just? Definitely a devil in all of us. Sometimes it's a little devil, sometimes it's a big devil, you know what I mean? Points to satanic altar. Bit of a devil, just a bit. Don't let her fool you. Sayori knows exactly what she's doing. After all, she told you guys she was bringing me to the club before she even told me. Oh, hi Sky! Welcome to the stream. Thank you. Thank you. I'm really proud of it. It's a lot of it's actually closet cosplay too. I bought the wig. The jacket is actually something I got from the company I modeled for. And most of the rest of this I already had. I just bought the ribbon and the sweater vest. But most of the rest I already had. I had to buy the wig, but Also, oh my god, this wig is so long. So long. I don't think I ever want to do another, like, long-haired character that isn't long and purple. Just the one long, ultra long wig is all I need. All my other characters that I do with really long hair have white hair, like my my actual hair. Yeah, thanks. I love Yuri so much. But you wouldn't have come if it weren't for the cupcakes. So I had to trick Natsuki into making them. Come on, give me more credit than that, Sayori. Pat! Ka! Out of nowhere, something smacks Sayori in the face and tumbles onto the desk. Yeah, a little bit into Yuri. I headcanon her as autistic. She has so much in common with me, it's ridiculous. So much. We were like almost the same person. Ow! What was? Huh? A cookie? Sure enough, a giant cookie wrapped in plastic. Sayori glances around. Is this a miracle? It's because I paid my restitution. Retribution? Actually, that one almost worked. I was just gonna give it to you. When I heard you blab about the cupcakes, it was totally worth seeing your reaction, though. Natsuki, that's so nice of you. I'm so happy. Sayori hugs the cookie. Jeez, just eat it. Sayori rapidly tears open the wrapper and takes a big bite. So good. Sayori suddenly claps her hands over her mouth. I bit my tongue. You're going through a lot over just one cookie. Natsuki takes a bite of her own cookie. Yours looks really good too, Natsuki. Can I try it? Jeez. Beggars can't be choosers. Yours is chocolate. Yeah? Why do you think I gave you that one? Fine. Still, I'm really happy that you shared this one with me. Sayori gets out of her seat and goes behind Natsuki and wraps her arms around her. Jeez. I get it. Cookie still in hand, Natsuki reaches up to nudge Sayori off of her. No worries at all. See you in a bit. Have a good one. Thank you for stopping by. Sayori suddenly leans down and takes a bite out of Natsuki's cookie. Hey! Did you seriously just do that? Mouthful, Sayori trots away to safety. Yuri and I laugh as well. Jeez, you're such a kid sometimes. Monica, can you tell Sayori? Natsuki glances around. Monica isn't in the club room. Ugh, where is Monica anyway? Good question. Have any of you heard anything about her being late today? Not me. Yeah, I haven't either. That's a bit unusual. I hope she's okay. Of course she's okay. She probably just had something to do today. She's pretty popular after all. You don't think she has a... I wouldn't be surprised. She's probably more desirable than all of us combined. That's true. Excuse me? Suddenly the door swings open. Sorry, I'm super sorry. Oh, there you are. I didn't mean to be late. Hope you guys aren't worried or anything. Monica chose the club over her boyfriend after all. You're so strong-willed. Boyfriend? What on earth are you talking about? Monica quizzically glances at me. Never mind that. What held you up anyway? Well, my last period today was study hall. To be honest, I kinda just lost track of time. That makes no sense, though. You would have heard the bell ring at least. I must not have heard it since I was practicing piano. Piano? I wasn't aware you played music as well, Monica. I don't really. I kind of just started recently. Always wanted to learn piano. That's so cool. You should play something for us, Monica. Monica looks at me. Maybe once I get a bit better, I will. Yay! That sounds cool. I also look forward to it. Is that so? In that case, I won't let you down, Azura. Monica smiles sweetly. I didn't mean any pressure or anything like that. Haha, don't worry. I've been practicing a whole lot recently. And I'd really love the chance to share once I'm ready. I see. In that case, best of luck. Thanks. So I didn't miss anything, did I? Not really. I choose to leave out Sayori's mischievous little escapade. I'm sure Natsuki will end up complaining to her anyway. Looks like everyone has already settled down. Sayori somehow has already finished her entire cookie. Yuri's back to her book, and Natsuki disappeared into the closet. Hey, Yuri! Huh? Ah! I suddenly noticed that Yuri is reading a different book from the one we've been reading together. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. No. I was kind of just waiting for you. If that's the case, why don't we go ahead and get started? Yes, let's. Actually, I have a request. Do you mind if I make some tea first? Not at all. Thanks very much. There's one thing that can make my reading time here any better. It's a nice cup of tea. Not to mention for yourself as well. Yuri stands up and makes her way to the closet. Speaking of, some more cider because my throat is mad. I think it's Yuri's voice that's the hardest on me. Like the cutesy, one. I don't know why I decided to do a cutesy voice that's so difficult, but here we are. Yuri's voice is the easiest because it's just my voice with less intonation in it than normal. The voice I'm doing for Yuri is literally just how I used to talk when I was younger. Just really low and monotone and just kind of relaxed. I just talked like that all the time. It took me a long time to learn how to emote in my voice. And that's on autism. And masking. I follow and watch as she retrieves a small water pitcher from the shelf, the kind with a filter inside. So, Britta, can you hold this for a second? Sure. Yuri hands me the water pitcher and also fetches an electric kettle. I'm gonna plug this in at the teacher's desk and then we'll go get some water. She walks past me and sets the kettle down on the teacher's desk. I simply watch her movements. To my surprise, the way she moves really contrasts her speaking mannerisms. Especially because of her long legs, Yuri appears elegant and methodical. Okay, may I have the water pitcher? Thanks, I'll be right back. I might as well walk with you. Yeah, why not? Shall we go then? Yeah. Where are you two off to? Yuri was gonna go make some tea, so... I suddenly realized how weird it sounds to explain this to Monica. We're just filling the water pitcher. Ah, okay. Sorry, I was just a bit curious. It's kind of a one-person job, isn't it? That's... Monica, please mind your own business for once. Or do you want to tell me there's something wrong with helping involve Azura in club activities? My mouth gapes. I suppose there's nothing wrong with that. Well, let's go, Azura. Yuri quickly exits the room and I follow. Once in the hallway, she suddenly puts her forehead against the wall. Been there. I spoke without thinking. How could I say something like that? Yuri, something about the way she said that made me feel so irritated. What's wrong with me? No, Yuri, I think you did the right thing. I wasn't expecting it, but it's also not right for Monica to judge people like that. Azura, how come even when I do something bad, you're being nice to me? Because Nothing that you do is as bad as you make it seem in your head. Nobody's perfect. You have emotions, and we can't always hide them away. But you always amplify things in your head. Your mind turns a light rain shower into a hurricane. No. Wouldn't you hate me for something as terrible as that? Why would I hate you? You can't hate someone for having emotions. What kind of friend would do that? Friend, you say? Yuri lifts her head. Is there I really like being friends with you. Thanks, Yuri. I like being friends with you, too. I feel kind of awkward saying something like that, but I'm doing my best to help Yuri feel better. Anyway, yeah. Shall we go? Yeah. Yuri and I walk to the nearest water fountain. Once we fill up the water pitcher, we return to the classroom. Do you like oolong tea? Yeah. Anything is fine. Very well. Yuri sets the temperature on the kettle to 200 degrees. Now it's time to get the teapot. You really do this properly, don't you? Of course. I shouldn't do any less when I'm making tea for others. Even if I'm not an expert on tea or anything? In that case, you'll only be even more impressed. Perhaps I will. Yuri fetches the teapot and begins measuring the tea leaves. More tea. More tea. I mean, it's hot cider, but whatever. It's helping my throat feel better. To my surprise, she even starts humming a little to herself. You must be in a good mood now. Is that so? I was letting it show. When you noticed, I was doing a bit of thinking, and I decided that I would try expressing myself a little bit more. Turns out it's not very hard for me to do. When it's you who's around, anyway. That's great, Yuri. Just don't push yourself too much. You're always worrying about me, Azura. It's very endearing. Yuri wasn't kidding. I don't even know if I can keep up with this. I watched Yuri pour a cup of tea for each of us. Azura, I have another request. Do you mind if we sit on the floor today? Why's that? It's a little bit easier on my back. I can read with my back against the wall rather than bending over at my desk. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize. No worries. I just have back pain fairly regularly, so I do my best to manage it. Is that so? I wonder why that is. It's most likely because my boobs. It's the boobs. Big boobs equal back pain. I don't have big boobs, but oh my god, everyone in my family does other than me, and oh my god, I am so aware. Your posture, right? Always hunched over like that while reading. Yes, I have terrible reading posture, so that's why we should sit on the floor. Fair enough. I'll go ahead and get the book. I retrieve the book from my bag. I have some chocolate as well. It's a bag of small chocolate candies that I kept hidden from Sayori's candy radar. I take it, since it'll go well with the tea. Yuri and I then sit against the wall, teacups at our sides. As if in sync, we assume the same reading position as last time, each holding one half of the book. Except this time, our bodies are even closer to each other. I can't see too well. Yuri slides closer until our shoulders are touching. How am I supposed to focus on reading like this? Yuri was always kind of cute, but when she's being less apprehensive, it's almost more than I can handle. Your teacup. Yuri hands me my teacup. Holding it with my hand that's not holding the book, I end up in a position that makes it even harder to focus. Because now I need to worry about making sure I don't accidentally touch her chest. Meanwhile, Yuri hasn't noticed a single thing. She wears her intense reading expression, and I can only presume the world around her has faded away. I use all of my willpower to focus on reading. After a few minutes, I finally manage to relax a little. put the teacup between my legs, and fumble with the chocolate wrapper. Hi, Mara! Welcome to the stream! Yeah, you did watch me play it the first time, too. Welcome, Soul! You came back to the next section with Yuri, so you haven't missed any of the poems yet. I wrote some. Sayori complained about being hungry because she didn't have any money. And then Natsuki threw a cookie at her. And then Monica was like, oh, I was late because I was playing piano. So you missed not very much. I did a BRB to go to the bathroom and get more cider because my throat hurts. And yeah, Mara, you were there when I played this the first time. And I was not in cosplay because I hadn't played it yet. But yeah, I'm so glad to see both of you here. Yeah, there's definitely some characters in here that remind me of you too, Mara. You remind me of Sayori, honestly. Like, on so many levels, you remind me of Sayori. Like, definitely. Sayori is your sister in spirit, probably because Sayori is also, like, my actual sister. Who, for those in chat who don't know, my sister, immediately adopted Mara when they started talking, back when we were dating. So, my family loves Mara so much. Yes, she loves you more than she loves me. I'm probably one of the few people on Earth who went from being the oldest child to being the middle child. It's weird. I mean, I had we had a family friend, who I refer to as my brother, but he's the same age as me, and it was never that older brother sort of dynamic. He was just my brother. He was just a really close friend that I grew up together. Like main character in Sayori, except I would have been the Sayori in that case. Because I was definitely the more annoying one and he was the one with friends. But yeah, let's get more into reading and eating chocolate and having tea with Yuri. I love her so much. She's such a wonderful girl, especially now that she's trying to loosen up and express herself a little bit. Actually, before I keep going, I actually kind of want to talk about that. Part of the reason why I had canon Yuri as autistic is because she does a lot of things that I do. Common symptoms of autism are hyper focus on a special interest, which for her would be reading and literature and poetry. So she's hyper fixated on these interests that she gets really deep into and she'll info dump on. Autistic people do that a lot. The lack of friends and the weird social skills, she kind of sometimes knows what's going on but doesn't know what to say, and other times she's kind of completely oblivious and kind of starts rambling about stuff, not realizing what's appropriate and what isn't. She also does a lot of autistic masking where she doesn't express what she's feeling because she's afraid it'll come across too strongly, which is probably because she used to when she was younger and got bullied for it. That's what happened to me, is I used to express myself a lot when I was little. And in early grade school, people really didn't like the way that I expressed myself. And so I became really insular and just stopped talking to people entirely. And much like Yuri, I spent most of middle school and high school sitting in corners alone with a book. In fact, most of elementary school too. I just read in corners alone, or I'd play on my Game Boy or whatever, because I really didn't have very many friends. Which now I have tons of friends, and sometimes it just takes a while, and you grow up and you find people who will accept you as who you are. Like the main character or Sayori, who see these people and are no, it's totally fine. When you express yourself, you're not hurting anybody, you're just expressing yourself, and you might be a little bit weird, but that's fine. I like weird. So, Yuri is a great example of autism coding. She never out and out says that she has autism, and none of the other characters directly say what their mental health issues are except for Sayori. but there's a lot of, like, obvious parallels. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of neurodivergent people would find, like, these characters really interesting. Yeah, I love Yuri. Well, get back to the date now that I'm done rambling about how much I love Yuri and how much she means to me as, like, autistic representation, even if kind of accidental. Though, with Dan Salvato, I feel like it's less accidental. I briefly let go of the book to finish opening the wrapper. You can have as much as you want. That's okay. I won't take any. Are you sure? Well, if I touch it, then I might get smudges on the pages. Oh, you're right. I didn't even think about that. My bad. No need to apologize. I'll hold the book, okay? Are you sure? Of course. Look at her. Yuri opens the book with both hands. She's so fucking cute. And the, like, gentle animation of, like, dust particles in the sunlight, like, it's not static like a lot of these visual novels are. Like, there's, like, little details of animation. She holds it so that I don't have any harder of a time reading from it. But as a result, her left arm is practically resting on top of my leg. Well, in that case, Yuri is already totally focused on reading again. I take a chocolate candy and pop it into my mouth. Then I take another chocolate, and I hold it up to Yuri. She doesn't even look away from the book. Oh, my voice levels are a little low? Okay, I can turn that up. I'm turning the game down a little bit. Bring myself up a little bit. Also get my fucking water out of my mic. There, is that a bit better? It's hard to check because I can also hear the game in my headphones just anyway. Yeah, let me know if that's a bit better. Okay, cool. She doesn't even look away from the book. She simply parts her lips as if the situation was completely natural. But that means I can't stop here. Yeah, some levels are hard. I apprehensively place the chocolate in her mouth. Just like that, Yuri closes her lips over it. Ugh. Yuri's expression suddenly breaks. Did I just... Yuri looks at me like she needs to confirm what just happened. Is there a... Sorry! I guess I shouldn't have done that. Well, you were just helping. That's something that friends do. Right? I mean, not really in this kind of context, but... Yeah, that's all it was. Yeah. Then... You don't need to stop or anything. I see. The situation has gotten really tense. Yuri tries to return to the book, but I can tell just by her expression that even she can't focus now. My heart is pounding. I nervously take another chocolate between my fingers, but this time, Yuri's eyes meet mine. How did it even come to this? Yuri doesn't avert her gaze. I notice her chest rising and falling to the rhythm of her breaths. I raise my arm. Like before, Yuri parts her lips. But it's different this time. I take the chocolate and place it in her mouth. I feel her hot breath on my fingers. Okay, everyone! Fucking Monica! Cock block. So hard. Fuck you. Right? Right, Soul? And it just, like, cuts. So fast. Makes me so mad. Fuck you, Monica. I hate you. Such a cock block. Okay, everyone. Yuri jolts back. It's time to share poems. Azura, you can help Yuri put away the tea stuff, right? Yeah, of course. Okay, thanks. The spell is abruptly broken. Oh, I'll take care of the cups. Yeah. Yuri picks up the teacups from the floor. I pick up the bag of chocolates. In the end, we hastily clean up without so much as a word between us. I get the feeling this is something neither of us will have the courage to bring up. Who should I show my poem to first? So guys, who should I go see first? I'm gonna finish this because it's getting cold. I almost feel like we should kind of leave Yuri a bit later because, whew, that would be awkward. I don't know, maybe Monica first, since she seems so down to interrupt us. Get her out of the way. And Monica, annoying lady. Hi again, Azura. How's the writing going? Alright, I guess. I'll take that. As long as it's not going bad. I'm happy that you're applying yourself. Maybe soon you'll come up with a masterpiece. I wouldn't count on that. You never know. Want to share what you wrote for today? Sure, here you go. I give my poem to Monica. Alright. This one's good. It feels like you're not only getting more comfortable with your style, but the imagery is better than the last one I read. Just wondering, but have you been finding inspiration in Yuri's writing style? I guess so. Can't deny that she's talented. Yeah, totally. I think her poems are the most romantic. That's the best way to describe it. She's like a totally different person when she picks up a pen. I just noticed that too. I noticed that too. And when she's talking about literature, it's like a light turns on inside her. Autism! I think people with ADHD have sort of a similar thing too. You just kind of get like super excited about the things we like. Honestly, a lot of people do. Sadly, it's hard to get much personal conversation out of her. Trust me, I've tried. Who knows what goes on in that head of hers? I hope you don't mean that in a bad way. No, of course not. I just mean that I wish she didn't keep so much to herself. Still, defending her like that. You must be pretty into her. You completely misunderstood? Calm down, I'm just kidding. Besides, I'm pretty sure she's already got a boyfriend. Wait, really? Yeah, a fictional one anyway. Monica kind of whispers that last part to me. Oh yeah, okay, can I show you my new fictional boyfriend? I got my first body pillow the other day. I got a body pillow. And it's got a puppy on it. And then the other side has a maid on it. Look at it. And the puppy has a feather duster in his mouth. I slept with it last night, and honestly, it's so fucking helpful on my back. And like my shoulders, because when I sleep on my side, my shoulders collapse. And I have a really hard time sleeping on my side, so I always sleep on my face. But I have top surgery coming at some point, so I gotta learn how to sleep on my side, because post-surgery I can't sleep on my chest like that. So I'm trying to like slowly teach myself to sleep on my side. And when the streamer that's around, it's like, I'm selling body pillows. I'm like, perfect. It's a perfect excuse, and like, you're cool with it. That's fine. He's splitting the profits with the artist who drew that. I love it so much. And also because like, that is exactly what I want to look like. Pretty much. Like, except I have longer hair, but I love having white hair. I'm kind of alt. I have a maid dress. It's great. But yeah, Monica, don't kink shame, okay? That's not cool. It's just a hunch, but, well, there's not really anything wrong with that. Oh, well, I know. I was just saying. But anyway, you want to read my poem now? I like the way this one turned out, so I hope you do too. Alright, let's take a look. Save me. The colors, they won't stop. Bright, beautiful colors. Flashing, expanding, piercing. Red, green, blue. An endless cacophony of meaningless noise. The noise, it won't stop. Violent, grating waveforms. Squeaking, screeching, piercing, sine, cosine, tangent. Like playing a chalkboard on a turntable. Like playing a vinyl on a pizza crust. An endless poem of meaningless... Load me. Okay, Monica. Alright. Said you had an epiphany recently. It's been inspiring your writing, huh? I don't know if you saw her last poem, but it was about her looking through a hole in the wall. And realizing the hole was too deep. And she was on the inside looking out, not the outside looking in. Just, you know. Her poems are weird. It's even more abstract than your last one, huh? I guess it's just the way I write. Sorry if you don't like it. Oh, I never said that. It's just a kind of thing I've never really seen before, I guess. I kind of like playing with my space on the paper. Choosing where and how to space your words can totally change the mood of a poem. It's almost like magic. The way I wrote the lines really short makes it feel like they're trying to speak over the noise. I see. So, didn't you used to write poems like that with, like, very deliberate spacing and stuff? I seem to remember that. Different subject matter, but, like, similar sort of writing style. Still do? Yeah. It's still hard for me to tell what it's about, though. Sometimes asking what a poem is about isn't the right question. A poem can be as abstract as a physical expression of a feeling, or a conversation with the reader. Conversation with the reader? What reader are you having a conversation with, Monica? So putting it that way, not every poem is about something. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes you'll find yourself facing a difficult decision. When that happens, don't forget to save your game. You never know when you might change your mind, or when something unexpected may happen. Wait, is this tip even about writing? What am I even talking about? That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Oh boy. Let's get Natsuki out of the way, because she's always cranky. Well, it's not really any worse than your last one. I can't really say it's better either. Whew. Phew, what? Well, anything that isn't a train wreck, I'll take as a win. I get the feeling you're probably the most critical. Hey, what makes you... Wait, maybe that was a compliment? Aha! Glad to see someone recognizes my experience. Well then, keep practicing and maybe you'll be as good as me someday. That's, something tells me Natsuki completely missed the point. Come to think of it, this kind of reminds me of Sayori's poem from yesterday. Oh, you think so? Yeah. Well, I guess if you've been friends with her for so long, you might be on the same wavelength. Hey! Hey, Captain Caboose! Thank you for the raid! Oh my god, thank you so much! Welcome to the stream. Hi! I am playing Doki Doki Literature Club, as you can see. I have never been raided before. This is cool. I am doing good. Hi, Subtle! I miss you! Hi! But yeah, I've never been raided before, so this is kind of overwhelming. But yeah, I'm trying to do a stream of DDLC where I do all the romance stuff separate from all the triggering stuff so people can have access to the first, like, romantic cute part of the game, even if they have, like, trigger stuff and, like, the other part of the game isn't necessarily accessible to everybody. So I wanted to give people as much as possible. Oh, welcome, everybody! Yeah! But yeah, so the only triggers that will be in this stream, well, I probably won't even get that far, but the only triggers that'll be in, like, the romantic section will be discussion of depression, and I will also be talking about mental health stuff. And there will be a brief mention of a knife and some blood. You don't see anything, but there's a discussion of it, so if you have a trigger like that, just know that might happen, but I know where it is, so I will give another warning just before that happens. The blood one might happen this stream, the other one probably won't. I think we're only going to get through Yuri today. And then we'll go through the other girls' routes on their own streams. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I'm just showing my poem to Natsuki. This is like the second poem. But you never really struck me as her type. Sayori has a type all of a sudden? Well, I don't know, but honestly, how can someone so, fluffy spend so much time with someone like you? Mario got raided while you were fighting actual raiders in game. That's hilarious. So, hey, so, nice to meet you. Or see you. I already met you. It's nice to see you in stream. It's like she's dragging around a dead weight. That was a little unnecessary. But think of it this way. If it weren't for me, she would probably just fly away like letting go of a balloon. You say we each take care of each other in our own way. Whatever it is, I don't get it. Oh yeah, I guess I'm supposed to show you my poem. Here. Amy likes spiders. You know what I heard about Amy? Amy likes spiders. Icky, wriggly, hairy, ugly spiders. And that's why I'm not friends with her. Amy has a cute singing voice. I heard her singing my favorite love song. Every time she sang the chorus, my heart would pound to the rhythm of her words. But she likes spiders. That's why I'm not friends with her. One time I hurt my leg really bad. Amy helped me up and took me to the nurse. I tried not to let her touch me. She likes spiders, so her hands are probably gross. That's why I'm not friends with her. Amy has a lot of friends. I always see her talking to people. She probably talks about spiders. What if her friends start to like spiders too? That's why I'm not friends with her. It doesn't matter if she has other hobbies. It doesn't matter if she keeps them private. It doesn't matter if it doesn't hurt anyone. It's gross. She's gross. And the world is better off without spider lovers. And I'm going to tell everyone. Okay, Natsuki. Not bad, right? It's quite a bit longer than yesterday's. Yesterday's was way too short. I was just warming up. Hope you didn't think that was the best I could do. No, of course not. Anyway, the message is pretty straightforward in this poem. I doubt I have to explain it. Sometimes you can explain complicated issues with much simpler analogies. And it helps people recognize how stupid they're being. Like, anyone would agree that the subject of this poem is an ignorant jerk. Do you know people like that? Of course, it's about how everyone thinks doesn't matter, it can be about anything. I wrote it to be easy to relate to. Everyone has some kind of weird hobby or a guilty pleasure. Something that you're afraid if people find out, they make fun of you or think less of you. And this is why you don't kink shame, Monica. God damn it. Don't kink shame. Don't shame people for the things they like. As long as it doesn't hurt non-consenting people, you're good. It's fine. Well, that just makes people stupid. Who cares what someone likes as long as they're not hurting anyone and it makes them happy? I think people really need to learn to respect others for liking weird things. Well, you're definitely right. At least I can relate to that. I'm sure a lot of other people can too. Oh my god, getting a wig headache. Great. It's what I do best, after all. I don't like writing unless there's a good message to take away from it. Like, conveying emotions is important, but I want to make people think, not just feel. Remember that. I'm going to write a good one for tomorrow too, so look forward to it. Okay. Ooh, I like this one, Azura. Has some nice feelings in it. Oh, I'm glad. I mean, it's better than yesterday's? Let me think. I don't know. I guess I like them both. Well, that's not very helpful, you know? Well, I'm not very good at figuring out if poems are good or bad. That's why I just go by my heart. It makes me feel things, and it must be a good poem. I'm not sure that's exactly how it works. And again, I guess conveying feelings is a pretty important part of this whole thing. Yeah, maybe. Honestly, I don't even know what kind of writing you like in the first place. Yeah, me neither. Ugh. Why don't you at least try giving it some thought? You want to write something for me? That's so sweet. Yeah, right. But you're always thinking about other people. You need to think about yourself once in a while. If you don't, you might end up getting hurt at some point. Well, I don't really know what you mean, but I'll try and keep it in mind. Well, whatever. Anyway, let's see. Oh, sorry. Anyway, let's see. I guess I like happy poems. Wait, sometimes I like sad poems too. Sometimes a little bit of both. There's a word for that, right? What's the word I'm looking for? Bittersweet. Yeah. I like things that are happy and things that are sad. Happy and sad? I can't see you liking something sad, Sayori. Well, I like happy the most. Sometimes when you have a little rain cloud in your head, a sad poem can help give that rain cloud a little hug. Make a nice happy rainbow. Sayori, that's unexpectedly poetic. Is it? Maybe I'm getting better at expressing my feelings after all. Thanks, Azura. I should go write that down then. You can read my poem now, okay? This poem is one, I think, my favorite that Sayori writes. Bottles. I pop off my scalp like the lid of a cookie jar. It's a secret place where I keep all of my dreams. Little balls of sunshine, all rubbing together like a bundle of kittens. I reach inside with my thumb and forefinger and pluck one out. It's warm and tingly. There's no time to waste. I put it in a bottle to keep it safe, and I put the bottles on the shelf with all of the other bottles. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts in bottles, all in a row. My collection makes me lots of friends. Each bottle is starlight to make amends. Sometimes my friend feels a certain way. Down comes a bottle to save the day. Night after night, more dreams. Friend after friend, more bottles. Deeper and deeper my fingers go, like exploring a dark cave, discovering the secrets hiding in the nooks and crannies. Digging and digging, scraping and scraping. I blow dust off my bottle caps. It doesn't feel like time elapsed. My empty shelf could use some more. My friends look through my locked front door. Finally, all done, I open up and in come my friends. In they come in such a hurry. Do they want my bottles that much? I frantically pull them from the shelf, one after the other, holding them out to each and every friend, each and every bottle. But every time I let one go, it shatters against the tile between my feet. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts, and shards all over the floor. They were supposed to be for my friends who aren't smiling. They're shouting, pleading, something, but all I hear is echo, 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 echo inside my head. Oh boy. Holy crap. Sayori, did you really write this? Of course I did. Didn't I tell you yesterday I was going to write the best poem ever? Yeah, but I didn't expect something like this coming from you. Monica taught me a whole lot. I've been really in touch with my feelings recently. I see that. It's almost kind of creepy. Creepy? Well, not exactly. Maybe because I'm so used to you being cheerful. Well, never mind. I'm thinking too hard about it. The point is, it came out really good, so you should be proud of it. Aw, thanks. I feel like I was meant to express myself this way. It even helps me understand my own feelings a little bit better. Writing is like magic. You've gotten pretty passionate about this, huh? I hope you keep it up. Yeah! Writing's the best. I'm gonna keep writing till I die. Don't get ahead of yourself. That's some foreshadowing. I'm also going to quickly open up the game files because I think stuff is going to start happening soon. I think. I'm not sure. Browse local files. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. But I will show you at some point if something happens. Sayori's always had a habit of getting obsessed with something before dropping it no more than a week later. I wonder if this is one of those times, but seeing the passion in her eyes makes it hard for me to be pessimistic. Okay, best girl, last girl. More water. I think we have like one more set of poems after this. But let's see what you've written for today. Yuri stares at the poem with a surprised expression on her face. Do you like it? Azura, this one might be even better than yesterday's. I didn't even pick up on this so quickly. Just yesterday I was telling you the kinds of techniques worth practicing. Maybe that's why. You did a good job explaining. I really wanted to try giving it more imagery. Yuri visibly swallows. Even her hands appear sweaty. I'm not used to this. Used to what? I don't know. It's fine, take your time. Yuri breathes and collects her thoughts. I know that Yuri likes to think before she speaks, so I offer that patience to her. Yeah. Just being appreciated like this, I guess. Probably sounds really stupid, but seeing someone motivated by my writing just makes me really happy. Are you saying you never shared your writing before? Yuri nods. Really, I don't believe it. I really only write for myself. And besides, people would just laugh at me. Do you really think that? Again, Yuri nods. Huh. Even your close friends? Yuri doesn't respond to that. Wonder why. Anyway, do you want to share the poem you wrote today? Yeah, I do. It was with you. The raccoon. See, not only is Yuri autistic, she's clearly from Toronto. It happened in the dead of night while I was slicing bread for a guilty snack. My attention was caught by the scuttering of a raccoon outside my window. That was, I believe, the first time I noticed my strange tendencies as an unordinary human. I gave the raccoon a piece of my bread, my subconscious well aware of the consequences, well aware the raccoon that is fed will always come back for more. The enticing beauty of my cutting knife was the symptom, the bread my hungry curiosity, the raccoon, an urge. The moon increments its phase and reflects that much more light off my cutting knife. The very same light that glistens in the eyes of my raccoon friend. I slice the bread fresh and soft. The raccoon becomes excited, or perhaps I'm merely projecting my emotions onto the newly satisfied animal. The raccoon has taken to following me. You could say that we've gotten quite used to each other. The raccoon becomes hungry more and more frequently, so my bread is always handy. Every time I brandish my cutting knife, the raccoon shows me its excitement. A rush of blood. Classic Pavlovian conditioning. Slice the bread and feed myself again. Yeah, she is talking a lot about that knife, isn't she? But I mean, I feel like we can all can relate to being obsessed with something and feeding an urge that we know is probably not necessarily the most healthy. Like feeding ducks or raccoons or something. You know. I was a little more daring with this one than yesterday's. I can see that. It's just a lot more metaphorical. I don't know if it's my fault, but I can't begin to imagine what this poem is about. That's right. It's a little bit closer to my preferred writing style, using the poem as a canvas to express vivid imagery and conveying emotions through them. Yeah, if I take it at face value, then I can't even figure out what it's supposed to mean. I think it's not metaphorical. It's a little bit metaphorical, a little bit not. Well, I think it's something that different people can relate to in their own way. I wanted to express the way it feels for me to indulge in my more unusual hobbies. It's those sorts of things I'm usually forced to keep to myself. So I sometimes enjoy writing about them. Huh, that's funny. Didn't Natsuki also write something about that? About someone being ridiculed for a strange interest? Huh? She did? Yeah. She was talking about how it doesn't matter what you're into as long as you're not hurting anybody. She's right. I mean, does she really feel that way? Yeah. Sounds like you two have that in common. That's interesting. To me, she seemed like the kind of person who would make fun of my hobbies. But I suppose that's my fault for judging, isn't it? Please don't tell her I said that. Don't worry, I have no reason to. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing it with me. After all, if I hadn't learned to embrace my own weirdness, I'd probably hate myself. I might be ranting a little bit now, but I'm glad that you're a good listener. You're good at a lot of things. Writing, listening. There really aren't many people like you, Azura. That's exaggerating a little bit. It's just how I feel. I never thought I would feel so comfortable sharing my writing. But now I almost feel like I look forward to it. It's just a really nice feeling. And you're to thank for that. It's nothing, really. Yuri smiles sincerely at me. For just a moment, her timidness seems to disappear. Okay, everyone. We're all done reading each other's poems, right? I have something extra planned today, so if everyone could come sit at the front of the room. Is this about the festival? Well, sort of. Do we really have to do something for the festival? It's not like we can put together anything good in just a few days. We'll just end up embarrassing ourselves instead of getting any new members.
That's a concern of mine as well. I don't really do well with last-minute preparations.
Don't worry so much. We're gonna keep it simple, okay? We won't need much more than a few decorations. Sayori has been working on posters, and I've designed some pamphlets we can give out during the event. Okay, that's great and all. That doesn't tell us what we're gonna actually be doing for the event. Sorry, I thought you'd heard about it already. We're gonna be performing. Performing?
Monica.
Yeah, we're gonna be having a poetry performance. Each of us are going to choose a poem to recite during the event. The cool part is, we're also going to let anyone else come up and recite poems too. Sayori's putting it all on the posters in case anyone wants to prepare ahead of time. Sayori, who's been coloring a poster, holds it up for us to see. Are you kidding me, Monica? You didn't already start putting those posters up, did you? Well, I did. Do you really think it's that bad of an idea? Well, no. It's not a bad idea. I didn't sign up for this, you know? There's no way I'm going to be performing in front of a group of people like that.
I agree with Natsuki. I could never in my life do something like that.
Imagining it, Yuri shakes her head in fear. Guys! No, Sayori. I understand where they're coming from. Remember that Natsuki and Yuri never shared their poems with anyone until just a couple of days ago. It's a lot to ask for them to recite their poems out loud to a whole room full of people. Guess I kind of overlooked that, so I'm sorry. But I still think we should give it our best. We're the only ones responsible for the fate of this club. If we start the event and each put on a good performance, then it'll inspire others to do the same. And the more people who perform, the better we'll be able to show everyone what literature's all about. Yeah! It's about expressing your feelings, being intimate with yourself, finding new horizons, and having fun. That's right. And it's those reasons that we're all in this club today. Don't you want to share that with others? To inspire them and to find the same feelings that brought you here in the first place. I know you do. I know we all do. And if all it takes is standing in front of the room for 2 minutes and reciting a poem, then I know you can do it. Natsuki and Yuri remain silent. Sayori looks worried. Guess it leaves me no choice. I agree. I don't think it's too much to ask. I think that Sayori and Monica have been trying really hard to get new members. The least we can do is help them out a little bit. Well, maybe, but... Looks like Natsuki doesn't have any arguments left. Okay, fine. I guess I'll just have to get it over with. All right. Phew. Thanks, Natsuki. What about you, Yuri? Yuri dejectedly glances around at everyone else's expectant faces.
Sorry. I guess I don't really have a choice.
Aha! That's everyone! You're the best, Yuri!
This club is seriously going to be the death of me.
Oh gosh. You'll be fine, Yuri. But anyway, let's move on to the main event. I want each of you to choose a poem of yours. Yeah, Salt, right? We're going to practice reciting them in front of each other. No way!
Monica, this is too sudden.
Well, if you can't recite your poem in front of the club, how do you expect to do it in front of strangers?
Oh no.
Don't worry. I'll start off to help everyone feel a little bit more comfortable. Can I go next? Of course. Now let's see. Monica flips through her notebook to the specific poem she has in mind for herself. She then stands behind the podium. The title of this poem is The Way They Fly. Ahem. Monica begins reciting her poem. Her clear, confident voice fills the room. More than that, her inflection is pristine. She knows exactly how to apply emotion behind each line she recites, bringing the words to life. Is this something she's done before, or is she simply a natural? I glance around me. Everyone has their eyes on Monica. Sayori looks amazed. Yuri has an intense expression on her face that I don't understand. Finally, Monica finishes the recitation. The four of us applaud. Monica takes a breath and smiles.
That was so good, Monica!
Thank you very much. I was just hoping to set a good example.
Are you ready to go next, Sayori?
I'll go next.
Wah! Yuri's fired up all of a sudden.
Yuri clutches a sheet of paper between her hands and stands up. Keeping her head down, she walks quickly over to the podium.
This poem is called...
Yuri anxiously glances at each of us.
You can do it, Yuri!
It's called After Image of a Crimson Eye.
Yuri's voice shakes as she starts reading the poem. Just a moment ago, she practically refused to do this. Why is she suddenly putting in so much effort? As Yuri gets past the first couple of lines, her voice changes. It's almost like what happens when Yuri gets absorbed into her books. Her quivering words transform into the sharp syllables of a fierce and confident woman. The poem is full of twists and turns in its structure that she enunciates with perfect timing. This must be a rare glimpse into the whirling fire Yuri keeps concealed inside her head. Suddenly, she's finished. Everyone is stunned. Yuri snaps back into reality and glances around her as if she bewildered even herself. It's up to me to save this situation. I'm the first to start applauding. Everyone joins me afterward and we give Yuri the recognition she deserves. It's not that we didn't want to applaud for her, but we were caught so off guard that we must have forgotten. So we applaud. Yuri holds the poem to her chest and rushes back into her seat. Yuri, that was really good. Thank you for sharing. Looks like Yuri is down for the count.
Okay, I guess I'm next then.
Sayori hops out of her chair and cheerfully walks to the podium.
This one's called My Meadow. Sorry, I giggled.
Sayori.
It's a lot harder than I thought. How did you guys do it so easily?
Try not to think of it like you're reciting to other people. Imagine you're reciting it to yourself, like in front of a mirror in your own head. It's your poem, so it'll come out the best that way.
I see. Okay then.
Sayori begins her poem. Somehow it feels like her soft voice was made as a perfect match. The poem isn't aimlessly cheery like Sayori is. It's serene and bittersweet. If I were to read this on paper, I probably wouldn't think much of it. But hearing it come from Sayori's voice almost gives it a whole new meaning. Maybe this is what Sayori meant when she said she likes my poems. It's like I get to reach more deeply into someone than I thought I knew through and through. Sayori finishes and we applaud.
I did it!
Good job, Sayori.
Even Azura liked it. I guess that's a good sign.
What does that even mean?
It came out nicely, Sayori. The atmosphere of the poem fits you really nicely. But it might be that other poems wouldn't work quite as well with that kind of delivery. I don't really understand.
In other words, I've seen poems of yours where that sort of gentle delivery wouldn't work as well. It might need a little more force behind them, depending on what you're reading.
Oh, I know what you mean. I've been practicing that kind of thing. It's just embarrassing to do it in front of everyone.
The next time, I'm going to make you pick a poem that challenges you a little more. You don't have much time before the festival, you know.
Okay.
Now who's next? Natsuki? Don't make me go before Azura. It's not like I can compare to you guys anyway. Might as well let Azura lower everyone's standards a little bit before I have to do it.
Natsuki.
It's fine. I might as well get it over with. It's not like I have much of a selection of what to read. I'll have to go with what I wrote for today. I stand up and step in front of the podium. Everyone has their eyes on me, making me feel terribly awkward. I recite my poem. Since I'm not exactly confident in my own writing, it's hard to put energy into it. Despite that, once I finish, I receive applause anyway. Sorry, I'm not really as good as everyone else.
Don't worry about it so much. I think it's less about your abilities and more about your lack of confidence in your writing. That's something that'll improve over time, though.
Yeah, maybe.
Alright then. That just leaves you, Natsuki.
Yeah. I'm going. Natsuki begrudgingly gets out of her seat and makes her way to the podium. The poem is called... Why are you all looking at me? Because you're presenting? Anyway, the poem is called Jump. Natsuki takes a breath.
When she starts reciting the poem, her sour attitude disappears a little. While she's still a little unenthused, her poem has a rhythm and rhyme to it. It's Natsuki's trademark style and it works surprisingly well when spoken aloud. The words start to feel like they bounce up and down, as if giving life to the poem. Natsuki finishes and everyone applauds. She huffs back to her seat. That wasn't so bad, was it? Easy for you to say. You better not make me do that again. Well, do you at least feel prepared enough to recite a poem in front of other people? I mean, doing it in front of other people will be way easier. I can put on whatever face I want for other people. When it's just my friends, it's just embarrassing. I'm so surprised, Natsuki. I think it would be the other way around for me. Well, that's just how it is, so... Well, I guess in that case, you won't have much to worry about for the festival. That said, I want to thank everyone for coming through. Might be hard, but I hope that you all have an idea of what it's like now. Make sure you pick a poem and get enough practice before the festival, okay? I'll be making pamphlets, so let me know ahead of time what you'll be reciting.
Jeez. Should probably find some other poem to recite instead.
That's fine, too. Doesn't have to be your own. I'm already pleasantly surprised that you're putting in all this effort for the club. Makes me really happy.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, everyone. I think that's about it for today. I know the festival is coming up. Let's try to write poems for tomorrow as well. It's been working out really nicely so far, so I'd like to continue that. For the festival, we'll finish planning tomorrow, and then we'll have the weekend to prepare. Monday's the big day. I can't wait.
I can do this. I can do this.
All right. Now stand up. There's no way I'll be able to find the same enthusiasm as Sayori and Monica, but I'll do my best to get through it. It's for the sake of the club, and impressing Monica, then I'll have to do my best. Ready to go, Sayori? Yep. Look at you two, always going home together like that. It's kind of adorable, isn't it? Hee.
Jeez, guys.
Bye, Salt. I'll probably stop soon, too. But yeah, I'll talk to you in a bit.
Don't make such a big deal out of it. Must be a little nice, though.
Well,
how am I supposed to respond to that?
It's okay, Izura. You don't have to say it.
Whatever, let's go already.
I walk home with Sayori once more. Even though it's only been a few days, a lot of things have already changed. Today, Sayori's being a little quieter than usual on the way home. Hey, Sayori. Huh? Sorry, I was spacing out.
Ah, no wonder.
I was thinking about something from earlier. I like how we get to,
Sayori fumbles with her words.
So let's just say that one day Yuri asked to walk home with you.
Huh?
What would you do?
What kind of question is that? Kind of putting me on the spot here.
Well,
I'd probably still walk home with Sayori because you don't abandon your friends just because you got a partner now. That's mean. Sayori, you really think I would ditch you for Yuri?
But she's so beautiful and smart.
Jeez, I already see her in the club every day. Besides, you always seem to really like going home together. I wouldn't just ruin that for you.
You're so silly, Izura. You think about me too much sometimes. Yuri would deserve it if she wanted it, so...
Sayori, I've already made up my mind. I really can't figure you out sometimes.
Sorry.
Besides, what's the point in speculating something that's never going to happen? The conversation trails off. It's kind of a weird thing for Sayori to care so much about. But I want to respect her and keep her happy too. And again, the festival is only a few days away. Who knows what will happen in that time? Okay. I am going to save. Because I save before everything. So I'm just probably going to chat a little bit. And we'll do the rest of Romance and Yuri next time. Yeah, I figured we can just chat a little bit. Just as a wind down. And I can turn the audio down a little bit. And you can just hear me. in my goofy ass voice. Hope you guys like the stream so far. But don't go, because I am going to be raiding somebody in a minute. But yeah, I hope you all like this stream. I probably won't do cosplay for every stream. Especially not ones that require me to wear the heaviest wig I own. This thing is like several pounds. Thanks, Mar. It's really great to be streaming again, especially now that like I'm approaching it kind of with like a better perspective on it. Cause like, I don't know, I'm coming at it with less burnout than the first time I tried, I was in the middle of burnout. And the second time it was just like the beginning of quarantine and stuff. And I was like super stressed out and didn't know what I was doing. And my internet was bad. So it's nice to be able to like, I don't know. I know what I'm doing a bit better. But yeah, so next stream will probably be Sunday maybe? I'm not entirely sure. I'm trying to keep my streaming schedule a bit loosey-goosey as well, because I find if I make too hard and fast a rule, then with my spoons and stuff, it's just hard to keep to. And I'd rather not be like, oh, I have to stream. I just want to stream when I feel up to it. But it'll probably be in a few days. I'll finish Yuri's Path, and then I think we'll do Natsuki's next. Natsuki's is the easiest one because doing poems for her is super, super chill. Sayori's is the hardest, and I want to do hers last. It's just the last loop I like to have be Yuri's, going into the horror stuff. But I will make sure that the actual nightmare shit does not happen until a separate stream for all the romance, okay? But yeah, thank you so much for hanging out. I'm going to raid a human. So stay in chat and it should automatically flip you over. I'm pretty sure he's live by now. I'm going to go raid Salt King because he's supported me a lot and I love him a lot. And I think he's doing Deltarune today, which is also a really great game. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Make my heart go doki doki. Love you guys.